Cool. Alright, yeah, let me make sure I've got my fucking... Yeah, shit muted there. Case. Well, you know, it doesn't matter. For some reason... let me do an audio check real quick. Cool. For some reason, it doesn't, like, matter if it's muted or not. It'll still pick up desktop audio. I've never been clear on why that is. But fucking whatever. Anyway. I am back on my bullshit. I'm tweeting this out right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna add everyone in my server, actually. Might as well. Live right now. Here, actually, I'll do it here. For anyone who's there. Alright. It's been a bit. I'm gonna wait for at least one concurrent viewer. I don't want to be talking to myself here. There we go. Hello. How are you doing, Meowcat? Also, I need to pull up my channel bullshit. I should have done that already, but let me do that. So, for those of you new to these streams, they're designed for replies to content comments. So, that's good. I'm pulling up my content comments right now. It's been a bit, and there are some that I'm going to be making full videos out of, to be sure. But with any fortune, I shouldn't have any gaps in my schedule like I've had recently, so we will see about that. One moment. Yeah, okay. Content. And comments. Alright, right over here. Cool. So, I'm gonna untick haven't responded here and just run through all these comments I haven't responded to. How long has it been? Okay, so not that long. Text him HackerSmart on Instagram. I'm good. I will not be texting him. If somebody is good enough, they don't need people to make fucking trash ass replies like this for that. So you can be deleted. Attain maximum success through Freddy Krueger. Really? Okay. I don't think I will. So, fucking UV said he forgar about my yes stream, because I was on the description there. The thumb for that. Paying attention there. Angela says, a cell phone too on selling online papers, please. It's increasingly hard to get even an email address without a cell phone. Okay, here's an insider thing. You can get an email address. Like, you won't necessarily keep the email address for long, but you can get the email address if it's an Outlook email with no phone required. And for phone numbers, specifically, you can use something like SMS PVA. I have never used that. I would never do that. to verify any of my social media. I'm an innocent and good boy. But if you did want to be an evil villain, then you could use SMS PVA to use like a tiny amount of Bitcoin and use somebody else's SIM card verified phone number so that it won't be registered as a VoIP, so that you can like access services, etc., etc. I would never do that though. Yeah, no. Whoa. That would be awful. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna thumb and heart that because yes, it's bullshit. And like cell phones are KYC, so if you don't use a cell phone number that you own, then you're, you know, at risk of losing your account. And if you do, then you're at risk of losing your privacy. So it's ass cancer. It's very not good. And that was on my, you know, if you want to sell online, you've got to show us your fucking government ID. Um, you know, it was awful when I first read it, and it hasn't lost its sting. You know, like, oh, we've got to prevent copyright infringement, therefore your privacy can go fuck off. It's really bad, very ungood. Um, Mr. Xavier said, thank you for being one of the few highlighting this. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, arguing with liberty advocates. Yep, yeah, I got those vibes. Coercion via a proxy with government-regulated business does not equate the free market. Yeah, preach. Yeah, and, like, it's so fucking hilarious to bring up, like, basic shit to some of these people. Like, oh, yeah, maybe the way property was gained and historically maintained has been problematic in terms of liberty. From a libertarian perspective, maybe genocide, slavery, you know, international conquest, fucking sanctions and fucking blockades. Maybe those are like bad for liberty, and they create a property heritage that traces its way back to blood. And maybe blood money is the only money there really is, like La Coca Nostra said. Whether you bang on the block or boardrooms for billions. I fucking love that song. Never will not love that song. So yeah, I mean, they're not willing. And then Rothbard. It's so funny, because Rothbard said what I say about this so many times, and he literally called it, like, state capitalism. But you're not allowed to do that in certain right libertarian circles, because then you're a communist somehow. A communist, like noted communist Murray Rothbard, who, you know, had the audacity to say that maybe property that was first acquired by the state is, like, stolen. Because, you know, maybe, like, taxation is theft or something. I guess that doesn't count anymore, though. We're not allowed to bring up basic libertarian tenets to libertarians anymore, because then we're somehow bad. You know, we're fucking leftists or grifters or something. You know, insert boot polishing fucking fascist mumbo. Rescind said, and by the way, thanks for the continued support, and for being on my show those 2 times technically. I think that was one of the ones where we had to like restart the stream, so apologies for that again. That was the Susan is anti-school streams. She says eBay is now also 1099ing sellers who sell more than 600 a year, even if you're only making $30 off of it. Oh, this forces you to pay self-employment taxes. Oh, so you might lose money selling on eBay now. Hey, that's fucking cool. Man. Angela says eBay lobbied hard against the internet sales tax, the internet reporting requirements, and this latest reduction in the amount of the triggers, in the amount that triggers the 1099. They just lost every single battle. Rescind says, thank you, good clarification. Yeah, fucking, of course. All these corporatist cunts have to make things worse. And, like, it's literal fascism. They're using regulatory capture to prevent market competition, um, because they have so many sellers now that, they sell um, new things, and they're like official people. So they would rather have those people be successful so that they have less fucking druff to worry about. But it fucks over the common person pretty hard. Get some water in me. Earth Nerd says most of what is sold online doesn't need to be verified as authentic or whatever. Just give me my damn sweater, fuckers. I hope the market works around this and pushes it out. Agorists could all move our business to a user-friendly agorist online Walmart untouchable by the government. Just buy from each other. There are some places that I'm looking into that I might be able to interview people involved that, like, might be able to pull that off. I haven't really fully vetted them yet, so I'm not going to recommend them right now, but there's some potential things that I'm going to reach out for in the works. And just to answer Meowcat, what should we talk about in the stream? Anything you want. Like, the chat is open, so feel free to use it for whatever. Like, I mean, I respond to chat comments. This is sort of like a hybrid between responding to comments, getting some, basically free content by doing that, and also responding to the chat. So it's like a conversation between myself and as many people as want to show up. At least for now. Like, if for some reason people start to fucking want to watch my content, which maybe, probably not. But if, like, start getting hundreds of comments, it might be more difficult to, like, address things. But, for now, we've got still a small enough audience. I am not going to talk about that, because I've already talked about it on Twitter, and people don't have the full context. But if they do want the context, you can just go look up my tweets about this guy, this racist who used to, throw racial slurs at me because I attacked a pedo he liked, now has an STD. Thinks he might have an STD from prostitution he engaged in. I just thought it was funny that the people who are accusing me of all this degeneracy and leftist grifting are somehow always the people involved in stuff like that and having consequences like that. Whatever. I'm not going to talk about that situation any more than I already have on Twitter. It's already out there. So, let me thumb and heart those comments, because yes. Academic Agent is mad about women's abs. Vlog 63. Rescind says, I'm a postmenopausal woman in my 50s. I won't let my husband carry anything for me, not because I don't appreciate chivalry, I do, but because I have to be strong. I just finished shoveling horse crap and hauling hay. Now that's a workout. Yeah, good. Never let yourself be weaker than you were. Like, if you can at all avoid it. Like, there's going to be a point in everybody's life where they don't have the physical capability to fucking be strong. But if you can, then you definitely should. 100%. Then we got... What do we got? Mr. Xavier on Bitcoin City is bad for Bitcoin. It's beyond me why more liberty advocates who tend to pride themselves on being rational aren't considering crypto was created by state actors and undocumented cash transactions. I'm not sure if, like, Bitcoin can be called that, but, like, the technology certainly. Yeah, I mean, it's transparently abusable as fuck. But, like, you don't get to say that because some insert coin maximalist is going to, like, hormonally menstruate all over your fucking... Oh, yeah, so you're with the feds because you're discouraging our... But then it's like, no, because there are ways to obscure it. You just need to use those ways. Ways that aren't being used by the future system. Like... These CBDCs that are coming out, they're like fucking absurdly tyrannical and authoritarian because they won't be able to be mixed around like this since every transaction is attached to your fucking government ID on the blockchain. So it's like, yeah, it's fucking bad. And when people start to use Bitcoin in a very similar way, it's sort of like testing the waters for that broader tyranny. So I hate that, and it's bad. And it's certainly like it's a portent for times to come that libertarians aren't willing to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be dealing with this fucked up bullshit, and we should be trying to like find ways around it or past it. But like so many of them aren't even willing to like acknowledge that it might be fucked up bullshit. So as a result, we get a lot of fucked up bullshit. Meowcat on this is an old video. Cartoons, Liars, and Pedo Bunnies, the Riley video, says pedo shits can go fuck themselves with 20-foot long poles. They might like that. I don't know. I feel like they should just not use social media because they shouldn't interact with places where children are. That's my bias. I'll thumb that though. Kelly Carruthers says, I love Bitcoin. I think this is an authentic. Yeah, okay. Comment. Cool. Sometimes you start with a comment like that and it ends up recommending some hacker to help you like Bitcoin your way out of retirement or whatever. Kelly says, I love Bitcoin, the idea, but have come to loathe BTC. BTC hasn't been a Bitcoin system since its development was taken over during the 1416 era, where Blockstream came around and they were funded by the banksters. Right? People don't like to think about that too much, do they? Or like how the Lightning Network is really bad for the kind of transactions that people might want to do in order to increase freedom. They're not willing to acknowledge the possibility that maybe the technology is slowly being taken over by, the powers that should not be. The whole thing was bastardized in the name of the store of value narrative. BTC has been relegated to repeating what happened to gold, shackled into becoming a privacy-destroying fractional reserve system. Everyone keep cheering, though, because number go up. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And like, they don't care that number go up means that, like, it has no long-term stability because number's also going to chunk down. Like, it's essentially a long series of pump and dumps where everybody's, like, psychotically stock marketing the thing into bull territory constantly. And then when there's a crash and people's value is destroyed, they're like, oh, well, maybe when the dollar crashes, this will all stabilize. And it's like, so it's just fucking, it's like Pogs or Beanie Babies to some of these people. It's not actually a way to get freedom. It's a way to get more fiat currency. Like, fine, I guess, but that's not what people claim it should be for. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Exactly, I will thumb and heart that. This is on Fauci is not the final boss. You're right on all that. Sort of surprised you left out Bill Gates. He is evil in a way that Fauci could only dream of, but the label of philanthropy and millions in donations to network, print, social media, and much more has enabled him to continue to rape the world and profit unimaginably. I already thumbed and hearted this. Yes, yeah, but like, so I already yelled about him, I think, in another vlog. I can't remember which one it was, but I seem to remember that. And either way, I'm going to be doing a really fucking long video on, like, Bill Gates as a garbage person. I dislike him on a strong and personal level for a variety of reasons. So you'll be seeing that. So I said video coming soon already. She's like, can't wait. Thumbing that there. And Pedro Morera says, facts, 100, Fauci is not the final boss. So, Black Friday bad, smart devices dumb, consumerism season, Psychophia. Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. It's not even about, like, giving or family or goddamn anything anymore. It's just fucking give me shit and like exploit cheap prices so that you can get what you wanted all year anyway. Like, gift cards and money are the new gifts because people don't even know each other well enough to just like give people something that they know they would want. It's fucking sad. Yeah, so Xavier's in this stream too. Yeah, exactly. Jonathan Bacone says, "Sup, brother? Hope you're doing well." Yeah, same to you. Haven't seen you in a bit. Also, I've been out for a bit, dealing with a bunch of personal stuff. If y'all want to boost the stream, feel free to support it with any of the links in description, because the rent is coming the due. Anyway, Suze Ash says, "Thank you for your Twitter handle. I couldn't find you after my suspension." Ah, yeah. So, I Twitter, because of its mass censorship recently, has been fucking with a lot of people's networks. Like, networks that used to be very strong are now relegated to, like, whatever stuck around. So yeah, I should make that more clear more often. Jeremiah EXE on Twitter. So, Meowcat on the same video says, "My mom literally has one of those smart TV sticks for the living room TV. Sorry for your loss, because that's a loss of privacy. It sucks. And also, like, I mean, it's less of a loss of privacy than some things, but, like, I don't know why you would want that anyway. It's not good for what it does, like, at all. Like, it makes very little sense to me, the idea that somebody would, like, broadcast a Bluetooth signal that much. But I guess, I'm just insane. So, well, Bluetooth, internet, whatever, the signal it uses. Because it's, like, easy to exploit, and it's an unencrypted connection as far as I'm aware. So you're just making your shit vulnerable for very little reasons. Anyway, Tara Holloway says, "I mean, I get why people have them, especially the knockoff Chinese ones that allow you to circumvent paying for select features. It's safer to invest in a VPN and computer to torrent from, though." Yeah, it is. Or just to stream in general. Like, you don't even need a torrent if you use, like, proper encryption. You can just stream it. You never have to have the files. Like, you can do that too as well, of course. But, like, yeah, just get a PC, plug your PC into your TV, and you'll have TV, It's like, it's so much simpler than that, and it's so much better than that. Cold Highway on Bitcoin City says, "One of my biggest concerns when El Salvador decided to go forward with adopting Bitcoin was it would lead to another U.S. involvement in Latin American affairs." Yes! Exactly! And like, people forget that Pinochet was a CIA plant. People forget that without U.S. help, he wouldn't have won. So, they forget that, Venezuela was heavily intervened by the U.S. Like, any place they can claim is communist enough, they'll go invade. And any place that starts to pull its way off the U.S. dollar system as well. That's why they fucking ganked Gaddafi. Because he tried to get on a Pan-African gold currency. So they killed him. And that's what they do every single fucking time, and especially in Latin America. Like, that one was Libya, but, like, Latin America especially, like, can we not? Can we not, like, put a regulated security, as a U.S. regulated security as the currency of another country? Like, it's just another petrodollar with extra steps. When it comes to foreign meddling, the next favorite activity of the U.S. government after meddling in the Middle East is fucking around in Latin America. Exactly. And sometimes they do both, which is why we have the Iran-Contra affair. We don't get to talk about that, and, we would never negotiate with terrorists. So. Thumb and heart. And well said on my Fauci is the final boss video from Cold Highway. And then, looks like we're coming to a close, so feel free to throw any comments you have in the chat here. Ungovernable says, "There should be a shut the fuck up Stephen Colbert button added to all the clips of him on YouTube." Yep, yeah. Yeah, that piece of shit. Like, he only has a job because he's a toady for the establishment. That's it. That's all. He doesn't need to do jack shit except, like, make the blandest comments that have some vague allusion to something the mainstream media hates. Oh, Have you heard about those anti-maskers? Have you heard about those anti-vaxxers? Hey, Trump, horse paste. Joe Rogan, bad. Hey, have you heard of QAnon? QAnon is bad. And January 6th, that was a thing, right? Hey, we did that. So everybody please focus on exactly this part of the right wing and ignore how similar fucking Biden is to Trump, and ignore how exactly the same this administration is, if not worse. Yeah, we'll do that. That's good. Did you know that Biden put back his place, put back in place the do not come policy of Trump for illegal immigrants? Like, he put that back because it wasn't there enough, and he wasn't making enough fucking money off of it. It's fucking funny as hell. Spud Ruckus says, you're talking about a generation that is tickled. They figured out how to communicate with Alexa. Yeah, and you know, I get into fucking altercations with my sister all the time because she's like, oh, you can play fucking Skyrim on your... It's ass. It's not a good version of the game. And it's also a privacy violating wiretap. Hey, I can say Fus Roda to my fucking Alexa device. That's so awesome. I feel awesome doing that. People need to form social bonds and connections and real life meet space friend groups so that they can do their fucking actual role playing and play Dungeons and Dragons like they did when I was a kid. You know, I feel feels super boomery, but it's like so obnoxious to me that people don't just do that. It's not that hard to do some role playing. Just get a GM who cares about the game and just play fucking games. You don't need Alexa to do that with. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, anyway, Mr. Knight says, my grandma can't discuss anything political without yelling on religion and politics. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's true of some people, you know? I hate that that's the case, but unfortunately, it's true. So, you know, I mean, it's still potential that you could get, like, some positive interaction off of it, though. Like, it's something to consider. Like, you won't know until you try, and maybe you just didn't find exactly the right way to say it that your grandma would vibe with better. But, like, you know, yeah, some people are just fucking intentionally too far gone. They decided to fuck themselves, and they refuse to unfuck themselves. So, especially, like, older people who are, like, very set in their ways and shit. So, I can understand. Kant Lonathev says, I think that's how you pronounce that name, says, how long approximately do you think until the greater move to cryptocurrency occurs in the counter economy and normal markets? I mean, the counter economy, to me, I think is always going to be primarily barter and labor exchanges because they're nearly impossible to trace. But, like, I think possibly the counter economy might see some cryptocurrency mass movement in the next year just because it's being more popular, so more people are going to be, like, more amicable to accepting it. And, like, you know, I'm not crazy about that because the reason they're amicable about liking it is because of all this bullshit green trash. Oh, yeah, it's so much better to use GPUs to get high scores in COD than it is to free yourself economically. Dagorist of AgoristNexus pointed that out to me, that it's like, that's the choice they're making. You know, oh, and it's like, it's suddenly regulated security. That means that we can use it. That means that it's legitimate. The counter economy never should have cared about that, and it actively damaged the counter economy for that to happen. So, you know, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting thing, but I would say within, like, 2022 is going to be a banner year for cryptocurrency. I do think, however, that it's going to experience a massive, massive crash that's going to scare a lot of people away. And there's going to be that need to reaffirm that, oh, yeah, you know what? It may be troughing, but it's still higher than last year's trough or whatever. So, you know, with all this newfound hatred of cryptocurrency where it's suddenly okay to masturbate publicly about green stuff, fucking crime, fucking worthless garbage. Hey, NFTs are bad. Did you know NFTs are bad? NFTs are bad. Um, it'll probably be worse than ever because like the value will still be relatively high compared to what it was, but it'll be relatively high while everybody thinks it's okay to fucking hate cryptocurrencies because they literally don't understand them. So it depends. But I do see next year as being like a banner year. I think it's gonna moon hella big, like at least 80,000 by the end of next year. So, um, like that's my prediction. At 80, maybe 85. That'll be the high next year. But I might be like off even there because of all this inflation. Like every time there's mass inflation, there's going to be mass Bitcoin spikes because like that mass inflation from the infrastructure bill is going to offset the value of everything. Like it's not good for anyone. But at least Bitcoin people will be happy because the funny number go up. They don't. Yeah, I'm not cynical at all. Anybody else have any questions or comments that they want me to discuss? Because it is drawn to a close since I'm out of comments. Actually, though, before I do, I'll check Odyssey to see if anybody has anything to say over there. I kind of doubt they will because I normally don't get any comments over there, but it's worth a shot. Odyssey is where all of my stuff is preserved on the blockchain, so yeah, nobody. So if you want to find all my stuff permanently, like if I get suspended from YouTube, go to Insanity is free on Library or Odyssey, either one. Anyway, Kant says, I think maybe that's Kant, actually. Now I think about it. Do you think ownership of rare metals such as gold and silver will become more widespread, possibly in reaction to a potential crypto boom? Um, it's hard to tell. I don't think widespread, no. I think it's still going to remain basically a niche because everybody's got their head in the sand and they don't want to fucking diversify their portfolio, but also because everybody's fucking poor right now, like especially with the economy the way it is and the loss of jobs and the things that'll never come back and the way the state machine of oppression has perpetually fucked us out of any sort of reasonable security. But maybe it could be. I don't know. I'm gonna invite people because somebody is in chat asking for a Discord link. Do you think bullets have become a form of currency? Bullets have always been currency as far as I'm concerned. Like, as far as I'm concerned, fucking ammunition is precious metal. Like, if you can store ammo, that's going to be more valuable than gold in whatever apocalypse happens because people are like ammo is not going to be in production anymore. The factories are going to shut down because they're not making fiat currency anymore. So, I don't see it as possible that that like bullets wouldn't be a currency. I think bullets are better than gold. You could call me a bullish bullet guy or a bullet maximalist. A taxi, I'm assuming, is psychophia. So hello. Anyway, with all that being said, does anybody else have anything? I still got like 25 minutes, so I could fill this up if y'all wanted to. It's up to you. I will wait a few seconds. But yeah, I'm back. Vlogs are back. Everything is going to be back. And I'm going to up the intensity on some AgoristNexus articles, so keep an eye on that. I have an article series in mind, poking holes in the paleo strategy, to put it mildly. So keep an eye out for that. Did I watch the Mark Passio documentary? I don't watch Mark Passio as a rule because I disagree with him strongly in a variety of areas. So, I mean, I don't know which one you're talking about, but probably not. I see Mark Passio as a personality cult, and maybe I'll make a video on that at some point because he's deeply frustrating, and it's almost like, you know, he relies on long ass presentations in front of people like who are sort of a captive audience in order to sort of dull their senses over time into accepting his definitions of things, even if they don't make any fucking sense. So I'm not a Mark Passio fan personally, but I am willing to watch it if you can tell me what it is like, because I'm not, you know, biased to the extent that I won't listen to him at all. Any possible spoilers for your book on Ankle? I mean, it's basically just going to be a structural book. Like, there's going to be some diagrams on how to set these sorts of things up, some definitions on, you know, the separation of vertical and horizontal hierarchy, the ideas that might, like, conflict with traditional schools of thought in all of these anarchist spaces, and the general idea that maybe everybody has a little bit that they can, you know, cede in order to get total freedom. You know, there's a lot in there, but that's the basic gist of it so far. Like, and it's every time I think I'm like nearing an end, I come up with another thing I have to fucking address. So that's why it's taken so long. But it is, you know, happening. So that's a thing. I've heard some negative things about Mark Pastio. Yeah, I don't like it. He calls things natural law and then refuses to elaborate on what makes the law as he understands it natural. And he also has all these definitions that don't actually hold water. Like, oh yeah, coercion can't be at all in self-defense. Like, I can't point a gun at somebody who's like attacking me and say, stop attacking me or I will shoot, you know, back off or I fire, because that's coercion. But he doesn't call that coercion, even though it's coercion. He calls that like self-defense. It's a bunch of fucking like equivocation and like fallacy that I can't vibe with. That's like at the core of a lot of what he has to say. And he also says anarchists can't be atheists. So he's of that kind of school. I'm not a fan. But like I said, you know, Jonathan, if you wanted to like, you know, let me know what the documentary is, I'm willing to watch it. I just, you know, I kind of don't like it already. Psychophia, this is from Jonathan. I've heard negative on Jeremiah and myself. We all have parts of the great work. Yeah, which is fair. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying I won't watch it. I'm just saying that that's my impression of Passio and why I haven't heard the specific thing you're talking about. So, I mean, you're welcome to tell me what it is. Anyway, 2 more people in the chamber, so that's good. That's on the XE chamber. For Garrett in there though, you've got to click the Sonic button to accept the terms. That way you can be an official like member of the server. That it'll open up the rest of the channels when you do. And if it says you need to click Nitro or buy Nitro, you need to click the other button because there's a button and then there's the emoji in the actual body of the text. The button is what you need to hit, like with the numbers next to it. So, Mark Passio and the Science of Natural Law documentary. I already don't like it, but I'll watch it at some point. I hope it's not one of his 5-hour-long presentations. But like I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. While we're on the call right now, I'll read the description on the internet real quick. See if it even sounds, because like I'm willing to watch it, but I'm probably not gonna like it because natural law never remotely seemed coherent to me. At least not in these contexts. So it's only an hour. That's not bad. From Freedom Press 777. So that's not bad. I'll give it a shot at some point. I'm already not real happy though because he's including this esoteric symbology in the back of his title. Like, yes, we get it. You vape. But yeah, I'll watch it at some point. I'll let you know what I think. Maybe do a full on like review of it at some point for either AgoristNexus or my channel or my site. I'm gonna start making articles on my site again because for somebody who complains as much about like the cost of hosting and when it comes up saying that I need like support, etc. I do very little on that site, so it's a shame, and like I should definitely do better in that regard. Like I have a website and I could be making content for myself, but I'm not making content for myself. So I'm gonna improve that. But yeah, welcome to the chamber to the two people who are there. And anyway, yeah. So if nobody else has anything they want to say, which I like I said, have about 19 minutes left here, so you could say some stuff and I could respond. But if nobody else has anything, feel free to use the support links. I'm very grateful. Like, if anything makes me like thankful around Thanksgiving time, it's the idea that people want me to do this for another year so that I can reach yet another Thanksgiving. So feel free to throw something at that if you want. It's not required, absolutely. Like, only if you think it's valuable. And only if you can, without like sacrificing something for yourself. If you need the money, do not give it to me. But yeah, there's a lot more coming. I've got articles in the chamber. I've got a lot of stuff I'm gonna do, and like mostly it's gonna be like a lot, all at once, because not only do I have like a lot of articles in the chamber, but 2 documentaries I'm working on. Fucking I'm still gonna narrate all the audio articles for AgoristNexus, so that's yet more. Fucking there's a lot of stuff that's in the works. Also, you can hear directly from me as sort of like, I guess, the ambassador of AgoristNexus with the email list we have. You can get emails written by me directly to your inbox to inform you about the latest content on the site, which, by the way, good stuff is happening. Like, we got Magnus Panvidia on the site now, so there's a lot of stuff that's happening. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to the next period of time here. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be discussed that hasn't been discussed yet for like general purposes. Anyway, if that's all, y'all still like, I'll give y'all a couple more minutes. If y'all want to shoot anything in chat for us to talk about, feel free. But I'm gonna wrap it up soon and make me some glass noodles. These are mung bean vermicelli. I got it for like less than $2 for a pack of 8. Very low glycemic index, so I get to eat some glass noodles tonight with some fucking leftover turkey. That's the plan. Because we had a turkey, and all I gotta do is tear off some shreds and throw that in a bowl with some sauce and bullshit, and I've got fucking something to eat with my chopsticks and annoy all the Yanks who follow me. But anyway, that probably wraps it up, unless this any tips for food when prices get high? So generally, you're going to want to start to barter. You're going to want, like, you need to know your neighbors and have neighbors to know. Because, like, I'm assuming that because you're asking this question, you're talking about people who don't have, like, harvests, who don't have farms and shit. And if that's the case, then, they need to start relying on their local support structures, because decentralization is the natural result of the collapse of central structures. So if the state fucks up, we're all going to be fucked if we don't get together on some of this shit and network and form security circles and shit like that. The primary thing you're going to need to do, like agorism, basically, you need to start like acting like the primary economy is already gone and forming your secondary economy. Thank you for the great content. Have a good one, Chopsticks. Yes. Thank you for your support. And thank you for the membership in my server. You can catch a lot of content, and feel free to contribute to the discussion in there, because like that's the primary reason I have it. I want that place to be sort of an incubator for a bunch of interesting ideas. And it's gonna get heated, but that's part of the point. But yeah, just generally, like, you need to start forming those secondary circles, those parallel economies. Like Andrew Torba, it was fucking hilarious. He came out with this dumb email that was talking about Kingdom of God economics and the fact that you're supposed to, like, you know, be less of this world, and, you know, your attention and time and energy and money, where is it going? Is it going to the things of this world? And if so, you need to change that and move it toward the Kingdom of God. But he didn't realize that he was basically endorsing agorism with that, because, you know, the essential thing is, like, you know, agorism is all the not unethical things that you can do, not immoral things that you can do that are illegal, and you just use the black and gray markets to supplant the state. So, I mean, the fact that somebody's a Christian just adds more immoral and unethical things to watch out for. So just add those, and you're using agorism to be Christian. So I wrote this article about that, basically, and proved that, and got a bunch of Gab heads all angry with me because, oh no, like, I criticized Gab. You're not allowed to do that. I have committed to leftism. Anyway, yeah, form your secondary economies. You need to do that. Like, that's the primary thing. And as soon as possible, like, not when shit hits the fan, before it hits the fan. Like, your prep should be your network, because the vast likelihood is that it won't at least start with something like nuclear Armageddon. So you should, like, form your fucking party as soon as possible, so that you can have a head start, an advantage over the people who didn't, who were ill prepared. Anyway, is that it? Feel free to throw some stuff in chat. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming. So, be well all. If that's, like, everything that's going to be said, yeah, this is a good chat, I think. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, any recommended reads? Okay, alright. I think. Machinery of Freedom, if you want a right libertarian perspective. David Friedman's Machinery of Freedom. There's a book by Bakunin, about, like, the difference between anarchy and statism, and the different approaches in the First International. The reasons he split off and basically told Marx to go fuck himself. That's a really good book. It's very spicy. There's, like, a lot of stuff that people should read about the origins of it. So that's what I would recommend, in like, just two vastly different approaches to the same questions, just to get your mind thinking a bit. And recommended watches. Let me oh, well, I mean, okay. Because I don't think you've done this yet, because, like, we talk a bit, you know, like, I cannot recommend The Minds of Men by True Stream Media enough. If you ever have 4 hours and you want to be bitter and angry and sad, that's the documentary for you. It's very good. I recommend it. So that, and then the conspiracy theory series by James Corbett, which you can find on Odyssey. I'll put my link here. If any of you want to support me for free, just sign up for Odyssey or Library and verify your email, because then not only can you support me by watching my content there, and every time you watch it I'll get a tiny little bit of library tokens, but also you can, like, with that verified email, you'll get a bonus of tokens, and so will I. So I'm going to post my link in chat real quick. This is a custom link on my site. No, it's not a URL grab or an IP grabber. It's just fucking my site redirecting here because I don't remember my long ass string of characters and I don't want to. So this is my way of sort of circumventing that necessity by making my own links. So there's that. Anything else? Feel free. I got like 10 minutes left. Dropped my comb there. Yeah, I got this beard kit from somebody. I'm not sure he wants to be public about having given it to me, but if he does, I'll like cite that next time I do a stream. And it had like this comb, a couple things of oil, a thing of shampoo, some beard balm, some shears, fucking boar bristle brush, yeah, whatever the thing. So I have things for beard now. I'm probably not going to use the balm though, because like the idea of waxing my beard in place does not make sense to me. My brain says no. Anyway, since it appears that the chat has reached a lull, yeah, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Anything I do, you want to share, boosts what I do because it gets it in front of more eyes, more people potentially interested, or more people potentially angry with me and yelling at me publicly, which ironically makes me do very well sometimes. So, anyway, with all that being said, smash the fucking state. Good to be back.